You hear us? All right, we are live in RVing in New England. Welcome, everybody, and happy to have you with us tonight. John, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Bob, and I'm excited about tonight's show. And you know what? This is the type of year, or the kind of year that nobody knows what month it is anymore. But it's great RVing season here in New England, and the name of the show is RVing in New England. Last weekend we were up in the great state of Maine, and this weekend we'll be in New Hampshire. So we're heading out. I know Jason Cole is up in northern New Hampshire somewhere, and so many of our other RVing friends are on the road, and it's just a great time of year.
Yep, it is a good time, and up here in Maine, the traffic is much better, and the campgrounds are really filled up. So August really turned it on for them. They're a little bit slow in July. We had the quarantines in June, but you get out there on the roads, a lot of traffic, and the campgrounds are packed full. So yeah, it's in full swing.
And speaking of Maine, don't we have a sponsor from Maine tonight?
That's right. The sponsor is right there on your screen. We are sponsored tonight by Lee's Family Trailer Sales and Service in Windham, Maine. Dan Craffey and his team up there have been killing it the last few years. Dan's owned the dealership for about 3 years and really revolutionized it and brought some great products in. A tremendous inventory of fifth wheels and motorhomes and travel trailers. Great company to do business with.
Yeah.
They expanded the service department. They're expanding again with a new PDI facility out back and 20 miles northwest of Portland. And
well, that's what I was going to say. People say Windham, Maine. Where is it? But, it's really greater Portland. And you just said PDI. What do you mean by that? Because there might be some people watching us first time.
The pre-delivery inspection when they pick up their units. So he's going to have a whole complete building just for that because they're delivering so many units. And Windham is actually kind of at the start of the lakes region, Sebago Lake and Long Lake and the lakes up there. And they're right on 302. And the traffic on 302 is amazing. I mean, it's
the boats going back and forth.
Yeah, back both directions. And on Saturday, you get them coming and going. So the RVers are going by. He's got big signs, electric signs. You can't miss them on 302 when you get to Windham.
And everybody up there, well, not everybody, but some people up there are very happy. At least.
Yeah, Happy's happy. Happy runs the parts and accessory store. Teresa does the PDIs. Deb is the general manager. Glenn is the service manager. Yeah, they're doing it right, and we appreciate them sponsoring the program for us tonight.
And I know I had to use them a few years ago when I had a battery problem, and it was Memorial Day weekend at like 5 minutes before they were closing. So I pulled in frantically. I didn't have my RVing in New England shirt on, and I didn't see Dan, so I walked in. I said, "I need a battery," thinking that there's a possibility of them saying, "You know what, we're closed." And they said, "Pull right over there, sir. We'll take care of you." And I didn't even have to pull out, "Do you know Bob Zagami?" like I know Bob Zagami. And we had great service.
Speaking about Bob Zagami, we got here. Scott Nichols on. Hey, Scott, glad to have you. Riney's on. Nice to have you, Riney. I know you're staying busy down there at Bradford RV. Jerry Plant, good evening from Cape Cod, where business is booming at Major's RV Service Center. I'll bet it is, Jerry.
Maria's in Nashville.
And your parts and accessory stuff. Maria's on. Hello from 7 Points Campground in Nashville, Tennessee. I don't recognize that one. Whereabouts in Nashville is 7
Maria,
Points?
Is that just across the river over where there's a KOA and a couple other campgrounds?
That's down by Opry. That's off Opry Lane Drive. Yeah.
What did you drop? What are you looking for?
I got it. I dropped my nerve to pin.
Yep. And look, we got Pat from Southern California, and Riney's doing good business. So there's our audience so far.
Yeah, I just hooked up with Pat the other day on LinkedIn and going to have some more communication with her. She's got a website and does some consulting for campgrounds on social media.
Now, we've got two interesting things that have already happened here. We've got our guest is in the audience, so we're going to have her come out of the audience. And
I wouldn't be surprised if that's Diane. Maybe they're doing Girl Camper is actually doing a watch party. Speaking about Girl Camper, why don't we bring the girl camper in chief on, and Ellen's on. I'm from Chicago suburbs, girl camper member. There you go. Let's get Janine on here. Let's get Janine on here so she can talk this girl camper stuff. They're probably sitting there saying, you know, what are those guys? Hey, Janine.
I'm just waiting for my turn.
Huh?
Bob.
And it's tough when you got to wait behind John and I. Yes, Mr. DePietro. Time out already.
This is special because this is an international show tonight because Janine is joining us from the country of New Jersey.
You know, it's Texas that thinks they're their own country, but like right. New Jersey is no slacker either.
By any means.
Got another girl camper. Got another girl camper in the house, Karen Sands Voorhees.
Oh, Karen, she's a Jersey girl.
Another Jersey girl?
A Jersey
girl. Karen is so fun. Class C girl.
You're lucky. We don't usually let people from Jersey on the show, so you must be very special.
She's Class E and she has a Class C.
Andy Parr, good evening.
Andy. Hi, Andy. Yeah. Andy is very concerned that Janine is going to beat his record from last week, which I think, what are we up to, like 5,800 views?
Something close to that, yeah.
So, I'm up to the challenge.
You're up to the challenge.
Okay. Up to the challenge. Okay.
I can't believe there's anybody on here or anybody that's going to watch this program when all your girl campers start spreading this thing out and sharing it with their friends. I can't believe there's anybody out there that doesn't know you. But let's assume there is. So let her introduce herself, John. Like, tell us how you got involved in this crazy girl camper stuff.
Well,
first of all, tell us who you are and where you're from and what Girl Camper is.
Okay, so I'm Janine Pettit, and I am the founder of Girl Camper. The media company, Girl Camper, not girl camping itself. People ask me all the time, where did girl camping begin? And I said, well, our settlers, right? Our ancestors. But formally, what are the Girl Scouts, 100 years old, teaching women to be in the outdoors as an option, not a survival technique. So I'm the editor-in-chief of Girl Camper magazine. And basically what I do is help women make that camping dream come true. Whether they're hanging off a hammock, they're in an old pop-up tent, they got their, hand-me-down trailer or a big Class A motorhome, there's no wrong way to camp like a girl. We just want women to know, if you see us and that looks like fun, we'll help you make it happen.
Okay, that's an elevator pitch for a skyscraper. Let's keep our elevator pitches down to a 5-story building, Jenny.
Oh.
So we got Susie Landis on Pennsylvania Girl Camper Guide there.
She must be. She must be in the masthead here. Let's see. Is she in the masthead?
She is.
Ah.
Landis. Where is she?
If you go in the magazine to Q Tips, Q is our DIY girl. So Susie is really Q. Everyone who knows her calls her Q, and she has a regular feature in the magazine called Q Tips.
I use Q Tips. Yeah.
Well, we're going to talk about. Are we going to tell people about the magazine, or are we just going to look at it and not tell our audience what it is?
Well, we can start off. We can start off with that because that's a hallmark achievement for them. So yeah, tell them how the magazine came about, Janine.
Janine, I'll play Vanna White here.
Okay. All right. So, John, you just signaled me if I'm going too long here. I'll try to make it short. Basically, we wrote the magazine we wanted to buy. I love magazines, and I have 5 Barnes & Noble cards in my wallet right now. That's what my family gives me. I love niche magazines, and I was standing at Barnes & Noble one day looking at the counter, and I said, there's like 5 magazines on backyard chickens and knitting on a budget, but no camping magazines. And so I just said, you know what? I don't want a travel log. I don't want an RV magazine. I want a magazine on camping. So that's what we did.
That's cool. And Nervda took an ad in the magazine.
Thanks for the support.
and our sponsor tonight, Lee's Trailer Sales, he also took an ad in the magazine. We're supporting. Explain the subscriptions and how often you plan on printing it.
So it's a quarterly magazine, and really we're very pleased with quarterly. It's going to come out seasonally, so that's our summer issue. And then the fall issue is going to the printer on September 20th. It should be in mailboxes, God willing, and the creek don't rise, about October. And then we'll have a holiday issue and a spring issue. So we're going spring, summer, winter, or spring, summer, fall, winter.
Okay. At some time, are you going to be able to say, available now at newsstands everywhere?
Not for a while. Like, we've been on the learning curve by how the whole industry works. And it may surprise people to know, for a niche magazine like Girl Camper, if you send 100 copies to Barnes & Noble, they generally sell about 20% of what a niche magazine sends them. So you send them 100, they only pay you for 20, and the rest get thrown away.
Okay.
So I don't see us doing that for a while.
I'm going to give you a little tip. I'm going to give you, this is free.
Okay.
Okay. A little consulting tip here. Okay. What I did when my book came out, because when you're not a celebrity, well, put it this way, I wasn't a celebrity then like I am now. Okay? I smuggled my books in to Barnes & Noble and then put them on the shelf up there with all the self-help books. So what you should do, or have Diane do, okay, your partner in crime on this, is shuttle them take 2 or 3 of them and just put them on the rack at Barnes & Noble.
I like it.
Okay. Then have somebody go over and try to buy it. And because it's not in their system, it will totally, that was the funniest part. I paid somebody to come in to buy the book that I had just smuggled into Barnes & Noble. And then when they went over, it didn't have all that, it had an ISBN number, but it didn't have the Barnes & Noble thing on it.
Wasn't in their system.
No, but take it in, put it on the rack, take a bunch of pictures, and it's good for credibility down the road. But I need to tell you this. I have gone through this from cover to cover. Even the paper, even the stock that you have is special. It's not that glossy. I mean, it's glossy, but it's not that cheap glossy.
It's a matte finish, yeah.
Yeah, newsprint paper. And you've
it's actually 100-pound stock. The cover is 100-pound stock, and I think the pages are 80, maybe 70-pound stock.
Yeah. I mean, it's a quality piece here.
Thank you.
You should be. It's got the cool feel to it, and it's got a wide variety of topics. And also, and I'm sure you'll bring them up anyway, but if you don't, I'm just going to cue you on this. Your supporting cast in this. It's not you. It's not just you and Diane. You've got a cast of several people here to help you out.
It's a great magazine.
Can we talk about Mark Polk? Because I am the #1 fan. Maybe Dawn is a bigger fan than me. But if you read Mark Polk's, we have Ask an Expert. And you cannot stump Mark Polk. So I was thrilled that Mark and Dawn came on. Dawn is our Traveling with Pets expert. Mark answered 3 questions on here. I'll tell you, in the fall issue, Mark has an article on how you know if you need a weight distribution hitch, which I really love, because Girl Camper is not just about inspiring. We love the lifestyle, but you have to know how to do it.
You can't talk to a woman about weight.
Weight distribution hitches.
Well, you better explain that a little bit better for some people that might think that you're talking about other stuff.
Everybody new to the RV industry, that's a term they don't know.
Oh.
And so many people that follow Girl Camper are wannabes. They don't do this. So actually, when Mark sent the article and I read it, I thought it was great. But then I gave it to 2 friends who don't know a thing about RVing. And they were like, what does this mean? What does that mean? So I had to go back to Mark, and this is the kind of detail we do at the magazine. I had to go back to Mark and say, could you rewrite this and explain this term so that people who are totally new to the industry, and we know there's so many now, could understand the article.
Yep. Yeah. And Mark and John are on tonight. They say hello.
Mark says, tell John to read the magazine. Mark, I look at the pictures first, and then I go back. But I see your article in here.
He was looking for the centerfold, Mark, and he couldn't find it.
We promised that we wouldn't get that way, Bob, and you've already violated that first principle about being
Yes.
polite. Oh, by the way, we should tell our audience, we are going to give away some magazines, but we're not going to tell you how to do it until the end.
Okay.
Because basically, some people might say you're just teasing to keep them there all along. The fact is, we got to figure out a way to do it.
You know what? If you win one, you're in a coveted group because we ordered 1,000 extra copies and sold out of them in a week.
What's your press run on this?
We printed 2,000 for our first run, and we've nearly doubled that, and we'll probably come out at 5,000 for our second run.
That's excellent.
Explain in the subscription, they get there's no more. Well, you like you say, you've got some of the first issue, so these are going to be collector's copies that we're going to make available. When they sign up for a subscription, they will get the fall issue. They'll start getting the printed, but they'll also get the digital issue also, right?
Of the summer. So yes,
Yeah.
The paper copy of the summer issue is not available anymore. I mean, we have about 100 copies here. We're going to give 10 of them to you. But if you subscribe now and you buy the subscription, it's $32 for 4 copies. You will get your first paper copy in the fall, but you'll automatically, the date, like right now, today, you'll get the summer issue on digital.
Okay.
So if you buy a year from now,
yeah.
you'll get everything.
Okay. Now I'm going to double your subscriptions right now, because I'm going to throw in a special offer. Okay. Remember, folks, this is not available in stores. And you know when they say, but wait, there's more?
Yeah.
Well, here's that part right now. But wait, folks, there's more. There's more. For the next 2,000 people that sign up to subscribe to this magazine, they will get
a
picture of me.
Now, do they get that vintage DePietro picture autograph too?
That is so vintage, it's black and white.
John, I hope my computer doesn't crash when everybody rushes to order.
Well, the only thing missing from the picture, John, is your Chef Boyardee meatballs and lasagna.
Look at that here.
Let me catch up here.
That's quite the head of hair, John.
Zagami, that's hair.
That's hair. It's been a long time since I've had hair. Diane says she's got 5 copies and taking bids. Well, hey, your partner is out there bootlegging some more copies. Maria, I am hoping to get my hands on one. Well, we're going to tell you how to get them at about 45 minutes into the show. Now, at 30 minutes of the show, we have a Lee's commercial coming up, and you don't want to miss it because Janine and I are going to make a major New England announcement at the half-hour mark.
That I don't even know about.
Right, exactly.
We wanted to tell you, John. We really did.
Yeah.
So basically, folks, I'm being fired from the show, and Janine is taking over.
It's the Bob and Janine show now.
There you go. There you go. John,
we've got chemistry. We've got
John,
screen chemistry.
You can go with Diane, John, and you and Diane can start a competing show and have it at 7 o'clock on Wednesday night, and we'll just have dueling, RV shows.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Yeah. But we'll have a bigger budget.
So, Janine, let's take a step back and tell us a little bit before your girl camper life. What did you do in your career and your home life, and how did you work yourself into this girl camper thing?
Yeah, so I was one of those stay-at-home moms that had a hand in everything. The room mother, the committee person. My full-time life was getting my kids out the door alive and into adulthood. And I loved every minute of it, and in fact, I was talking to my oldest daughter and lives and works in Queens. And she had this thing, if you could go back to one day in your life, what would it be? And I said, hands down, sitting with you kids at the kitchen table after school, playing cards and eating snacks, the best. But I was always chomping at the bit. I always had some side hustle, some gig. I had an antique shop. I ran a workroom for sewing over my garage for 10 years, put my daughter through private high school, making people pillowcases. So I had a lot of like business acumen and kind of like drive to do stuff. And when I was kind of aging out, our youngest was finally graduating from high school. I said to my oldest daughter, what's that?
We haven't got there yet. What do you mean aging out?
What does that mean?
I have no intention of
When
doing
she
that.
graduating from high school, like when she didn't need a mom all the time anymore.
But Janine,
But you're never done. You know, when you're parents, you're never done. It's a myth, you know.
I think
so
somewhere
I
here
said
in
to
this
my
time.
oldest daughter, I have to get a job. And she said, what do you mean, Mommy? You have a job. And I said, what's my job? And she said, you're girl camper. And I said, but that doesn't pay anything. And she, you know, she works for a Fortune 500 company in Manhattan doing marketing. And she's like, let me tell you how this is done. Get a piece of paper. And she said, you have information to share with people, and you have a way of making people feel comfortable and able to ask questions. So I just started blogging. Like, hey, do you know how often to check your tires? Do you know that chains should be crossed? Do you know if your tow vehicle is big enough for the trailer you have? And it just, you know, do what you love and boom.
Okay. So a couple things about what you said. I think you know that you've done a very good thing with your life. You've raised your kids well when they're helping you out. Now you're taking advice from them. Because just before we went on the air, Bob and I were talking. He goes, you know, it's kind of a different world when both of your kids are buying $1 million houses, which both of his kids are doing right at this time. The other thing I think it's important that you say is that you are a happily married woman. Yep. And it's not like, you know, in order to be a girl camper, you have to be single, divorced, widowed, or right? Yeah.
And that's interesting because, look, not to knock you guys, but my husband pretty much, he was great, you know, but he also works 60 hours a week. He owns his own business. I basically ran the ship here, and the guy came home to his castle and there was clean laundry and food. I mean, it's the total opposite now. I haven't done a load of laundry in 2 years.
That doesn't happen that much anymore.
I do not grocery shop. He cooks every single night. And when I say to him, he actually texts me from the kitchen, what do you want for dinner? And then I lie and say, I'll come down and cook. And he replies, LOL, I'll bring it up. So 38 years married to my silver fox, and we've basically switched roles. He does not like to travel. He's a homebody. But he also is such a great guy that he's like, honey, go do your thing. You've earned it. Get out there with your friends.
But that's very important that you have, and I'm not saying it's important that he gives you that freedom. It's very important that you have the capability to travel, because there are plenty of women prior to meeting you and your group that would say, oh, I could never do anything like that. Right, Diane? I mean,
do you know, I hope some of the people who are watching this who are not followers will go on our Facebook page, because today a woman posted the sweetest thing. She said she's a single mom with a 12-year-old son, and she's been wanting so much to buy a camper. But since she was divorced when he was a baby, she's been waiting for Mr. Right to come along to teach her how to buy a camper and tow it and do this. And then she found our group, and she's like, it's done. It's over. I'm getting a camper. Yeah. I'm not waiting for Mr. Right anymore.
I read that on the site today. Let me catch up.
Did you see it? That made me cry.
Yeah. No, it's great fun. Let me catch up.
Before you go through that, we should welcome Ben Quiggle, who's the editor-in-chief of Woodhall.
That's what I was going to do. I was going to catch up. We got Ben Quiggle, the editor of Woodhall's Campground Management. And Ben, have you ever done a feature on, has Ben done a feature on you girl campers?
No.
Oh, Ben, I'm dropping a story in your lap, Ben.
Get on board.
Get on board here and get a story. We got Dan Craffey is on, the owner Lee's, and we'll be doing his.
He's making sure
in 5 minutes. He's making sure.
Right. If
I'm going to spend money to sponsor the show, I got to see if John and Bob are really earning it tonight.
Talking about
Dan, I'm all in with bells on. I cannot wait to get up there. I've been an admirer of that RV dealership. I've been following them on their Facebook page for 2 years. They put out fantastic, inspiring content, as well as getting the great reports I get from girl campers who use that dealership. So we love a dealership that plays nice.
Well, and I got to tell you though, I don't want to let you down, but he's not as good looking as John and I.
Well, Bob, hold on. He's not as good looking as me. He might be as good looking as you, but he's not.
Okay, so maybe he'll fall somewhere in between. Frank Cates is on. Hello, Frank. I assume you're still out there in your Airstream.
No, he's in Lynn. He's in Lynn. He better not be in his Airstream.
But yeah. If you got the Airstream in Lynn, it's going to disappear.
Or it'll be on block.
Jerry Plant says, I married Mrs. Wright. I just didn't know her first name was always.
That's cute.
Jerry.
Well, some of the single girls say they got tired of looking for Mr. Right. Now they're looking for Mr. Not So Bad. But this woman said, I'm not looking for either. I'm doing it myself because guess what? The kids grow up and the prices go up. So just go get that RV.
Right. One of the things that we need, and we're getting close to the half-hour mark here, but we need a girl camper guide in New England, right? Explain the guides, and we're going to be looking for one here after we make our special announcement. But explain the guides.
So our girl camper guides, everybody wants me to host events. I can't do that all across the country. I just can't. I mean, my silver fox is patient, but I don't think he's that patient. And we really want women who enjoy the process of mentoring other women and helping them. So I thought, what if girl camper guides were all over the country and they had their own little girl camper page? So if you go on girlcamper.com and you click on chapters, a little map shows up and you can click on your state and find the girl camper chapter in your state. And she has her own little microsite within Girl Camper. She works with local dealerships near her to do events and camper colleges and teaching sessions and campgrounds to do events. So we love this. We're taking it very slow because I'm really picky. I really want guides who understand our mission of building women up. So right now we are processing 30 new states. They're in phase 2 of the Girl Camper, and we've got a great one from Massachusetts. We have several applications for Maine and New Hampshire. So we're going to have our Girl Camper guides up there before spring of next year.
Okay, let's. I'm going to let you talk about your mug in a little while, but let's recognize our sponsor tonight, which is Lee's Family Trailer Sales and Service in Windham, Maine on Route 302.
Bob.
John?
Bob.
Did I fail you again, John?
This is a commercial. This is a commercial. They are paying us to say this. We need to say it with some life.
All right.
Okay?
All right, Mr. Television.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we want to let you know that tonight's show is sponsored by Lee's Family Trailer Sales in Windham, Maine. And here to tell you more about Lee's is Bob Zagami.
But I was here, and then you made me go away, and now you're bringing me back again. But anyways, special announcement. We are announcing tonight that on September 19th, Lee's Family Trailer, not only sponsoring tonight's program, is sponsoring a camper college at the dealership in Windham, Maine. And that will be on Saturday, September 19th. There will be some social distancing. There will be a safe environment for everybody. Jeanine, why don't you tell us what a camper college is? And Dan's made a big investment. And I'll tell you, I told you before the show came on, this is going to set a new standard for any dealer in the country that wants to do a camper college. So you explain the theory of it, then I'm going to tell you some of the things, the exciting things that Dan and his team have planned.
Well, what camper college was until Dan came and redefined it, because you want to talk about building a better mousetrap. Normally what a camper college is we all gather at an RV dealership on a Friday night, and people come from work, so they start arriving like 4:30 or 5, and usually the dealership puts out some noshing foods, and we walk around, we look at all the campers. But then about 5 or 5:30, we basically do a walkthrough. So here's my thinking on this. many people write to me and say, well, I think I'll just have to do a tent. I love those little campers. I love what you girls do to them, but I don't know anything about it. So we basically demystify trailer ownership. So someone from the RV dealership will walk around that entire trailer, and all the girls go around, or sometimes they spin the trailer around. This is where the water goes in. This is where the water comes out. This is where the battery is. This is how you maintain the battery. This is how you plug it in. This is how, and everyone sits there and goes, that's it? I just thought it was so much harder.
So you don't give up. After they pass camper college, do they get a Bachelor of Arts degree?
I think we should give certificates, don't you?
Yeah.
I'm going to get my graphics person to get a certificate.
How about a Bachelorette of Arts degree?
A bachelorette degree. Well, listen, if they pass camper college at Lee's, it's going to be a master's degree, because their marketing team sent me all their ideas. So we're taking what we normally do on a Friday night, and we're stretching it out to like a festival on Saturday.
Well, I'm sure Dan can work a certificate into it, but we're talking about
Bachelor Ahead degree.
He's doing television commercials in advance of the event. He's got Glenn in the service department. We'll have service people doing some of the introduction. But the thing I like about what Dan has put together is most of the people who will be presenting are all of his female managers. So Deb Wardell, general manager, Happy Gillum, who runs the parts and accessory store, Teresa, who does PDI, Kate, who does the preparation of the units. So all of the women who are involved.
Come around here.
Have a bunch of men sitting up there.
Come here. I want to introduce you. Come here.
This is Camper College.
Maria, get over here.
Yeah.
So Dan has got a whole group of people. We got Rolling on TV is going to come up. Laurie and that's Maria.
John is like just stressing over there, isn't he? With all that hair and arm waving. That's his young daughter. Yeah, right.
Hello.
We interrupt this program to bring in the special announcement. We'll go right back to the commercial, but she just went camping with us. The whole 12 of us went camping. Christy, tell us about our family camping.
The best.
Trip. How do you like it?
It's very quiet and organized.
Yeah,
with 6 kids under 9.
I think we need to read between the lines there. She's sending us a secret message.
They put up a big sign at Bailey's, Chrissy, that said the DePietro family can no longer come back to Maine. So
generally, that's how it goes at the end of a weekend.
Aww.
So they were out. They were out carousing with my wife, and I think they're going back out there.
How
but
fun!
Anyway, she's a veteran camper now.
Yeah.
So like I say, Rolling on TV is coming up. Michelle will be there raffling off their Care Camp tickets for an RV, a Novo, customized Novo. Laurie will be doing some videos. We'll have manufacturers reps. We'll have hopefully a Camco rep, because Janine does a lot of work with Camco.
Love Camco.
And Happy has a lot of Camco stuff in the store. But mark your calendars. You'll be getting a lot more stuff from Nerve coming along. But September 19th, Windham, Maine. I think we're doing it. I think 10 to 4. We'll
10
get
to 4, and we're going to do. It's going to have almost a little bit of an RV show feel, right, Bob?
Yep.
You're going to be giving your famous presentation on the RV lifestyle. I'm going to be doing my factory to fabulous ideas. So after you get that camper, how do you personalize it and make it feel like home? And we're going to have the magazine up there, so you'll be able to buy the magazine. I'm going to bring some Girl Camper mugs.
Yep. And
we'll have some other Girl Camper swag. It's just going to be a fun party day.
Right. And if you were at the Boston show in January and you missed Janine's standing room only presentation,
that was fun.
Let me tell you, it's eye-opening. I think every manufacturer, and I said this at the time, every manufacturer in this industry should go see Janine's presentation, because she takes a brand new unit out of the factory, and it's nice, but it's an RV. But when she gets done with it, it's fabulous. And you look at the interiors, you cannot believe the transformation, and it's not expensive stuff.
It's not expensive.
That's
And
the
you know
beauty
what?
of what she does.
Well, who would buy a house and live with someone else's color choices on the walls? Or we have never owned a house where I haven't gutted the bathrooms or like, yeah, no, the carpet's got to go. So you personalize every home to fit your taste. And I don't know why people buy an RV and think they have to live with it like it is.
That's a good point. It's a good
Yeah.
And
point.
the RV industry's job is not to make Pinterest-worthy campers. Their job is to make them safe. So keep doing that, RV manufacturers, and we'll tell people how to make them pretty.
And if they
Pretty cool.
really,
Pretty
now,
cool.
that's a good point. Now, do you have a Girl Camper Pinterest page?
I do. You know what? Jeez,
Well, I know you're so
too
busy.
many
I
irons
don't
in
know
the
where you
fire.
find the time for it, but I know,
I started one, and it does have some pictures on it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Maria says daughter and her family are at Bailey's now.
Yeah.
Diane says that's awesome, John. I don't know what she says.
Oh,
That's
there's our friend.
I can't be there that
Rose.
weekend
Hi,
because
Eileen.
Bachelor of Camping degree. Pat Jeanette says call it a Bachelor of Camping degree. That's a good line. Well, yeah. Okay.
and then Diane said, "That's awesome, John."
Yeah, but
She
I don't
meant-
know what she's referring to.
Well, because anything I do is awesome. I mean, it could be this that she was referring to, or it could be that she was referring to the buildup that I gave to you to talk
That
about.
fabulous intro.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now, let's be very clear here that when Lee's does an event, it's not just an event. I mean, they have refreshments. Bob, there's not the full lobster dinners this time for everybody who shows up. That was last week, right?
He's not doing lobster for everybody
Not
this
doing
time. No.
free lobsters.
But he
Okay.
has done that for his employees. He has done that. Yep.
Yep, exactly. So Lee's is special. And we like to say all of our nerved dealers in New England kind of provide you with a little bit extra. And when you go there, you will see what has made them, their growth chart is like the hockey puck chart, right, Bob? I can't do it here because I'm in reverse. But talk about the month. What was the month that they doubled their sales? Was that May or June?
In May, coming out of the pandemic, they doubled their May. They doubled sales in May of this year from last year, and there was no pandemic last year. And then they beat that number in June, and they beat it again in July. And that's typical of all of our dealers in terms of the increase in RVs is all over the television, the radio, and national TV and national news, national reports. So he's right in line with that. But he's setting an all-time record for that dealership, and like I say, he's had it for 3 years. So mark your calendar, September 19th, and we hope to see you there. And when we jumped that one on, I took your mug off. Quickly, John, what?
Yeah, we should also tell people that that I forgot.
Okay.
We should tell them.
Tell about the mug.
We should tell them that I have amnesia. That's right.
So the mug. Okay, the mug is kind of a fun story. So this is on our website. It's a hand-thrown mug, very lovely. And this is, the back roads of America, what we love about what we do, right? So I'm tooling around West Virginia and camping at, I think it's called something Falls, Blackwater Falls State Park. If you've never been there, check it out. Hunter County or Hunterton, West Virginia. Tucker. I don't want to get that wrong because they've been so good to us. Tucker County, West Virginia. I mean, beautiful there. That's a fantastic state park. And went into town, the town of Thomas, West Virginia. It's 2 streets on a river, a lower street and an upper street. And we're walking around town and I see this shop called Mud, M-U-D. And I got to go in it, right? It kind of run down looking on the outside, but like, what's mud, right? They're selling mud. So mud is a term for potters. And met this wonderful man named Ben, father of 3 little girls, and he supports his family making mugs. This is his business. And he's keeping small towns alive. He's keeping the arts alive,
We're only on till 8.
So I had to have him make a girl camper mug, and they're expensive and they're lovely, and we love supporting Ben. So the girl campers buy these and then they post them on the website on Facebook, and they call it their mug shot. So we have a whole pile of everybody's mug shot. They take them all over the country and they post them at Manhattan Falls and, you know, the Grand Canyon. And so you never know where a girl camper mug is going to show up.
Hey, Bob, for the last 10 minutes when Janine was explaining what the mug is, we had some special people. We had some special people join us, Jose and Michelle from Rolling on TV. And
Michelle Fontaine.
I'm taking you up on that offer to co-host with you. Just saying.
And Tony Barthel from California, who has his own site as well. He's a good guy.
Restless Camping.
Oh, we love Tony.
Yeah,
Tony is a wisdom writer for Girl Campers. So Tony has a column. He has a great podcast himself, Stressless Camping. But Tony also and his wife Peggy write on the Girl Camper website. So you
there you go. See, I didn't.
Look up there, and they create great content.
Okay. And he camped with Michelle out in Quartzsite. So Tony, thanks for joining us tonight. Michelle and Jose Moniz from Rolling on TV, the producer behind the scenes of everything great about Rolling on TV. And as I said, I think Jose is going to try to come up on September 19th. I know Michelle and Laurie will be there. Don Paz, Girl Campers really help advertise the lifestyle. I think that's a phenomenal point, Don, because it's all about having fun in the lifestyle, right, Janine?
And doing it safely. And you know, if you're entering it, you don't know beans from, you know, bones. You know, like, it's really great to have people who have your back, and people like Mark and Dawn who create great content. And I see Susie Q is here. She's our Pennsylvania guide. Peggy and Tony. There's people out there. We love pulling them all together at Girl Camper, so it makes it easy for you to find them. You know,
Janine, you brought up something very important there. Because you said the word safely. And one generation ago, women would have been relegated to figuring out what color the drapes are, what color the furniture
is. And the food.
Right?
Yeah, what's for dinner.
Okay. But in this particular case, you've got people like Mark Polk that, as well as several other writers that are talking about the technical aspects of either pulling a trailer or driving a motorhome, because it's not just like getting in your Subaru and driving to the supermarket. Mm-hmm. There are issues that you have to be concerned with. Right. And I know in your case where you tow something, towing is something totally different that you need to be schooled on. And
right. You know, and you know what? I just did a thing for Go RVing on overcoming your fear of towing. And I love that Go RVing comes to a woman in the industry and says, can you speak to people about overcoming your fear of towing? And did you see the article in the magazine about our boss here, Brenda Puckett, Queen Bee RV? She just got her license to be an RV inspector in Tulsa. So if you're buying an RV in Tulsa, you can call Queen Bee RV Inspections, and she's going to come out there. She's certified, and she's already done extracurricular work to up her level of knowledge. And I just love these girl bosses who aren't making supper.
We shared your post, your Go RVing post on towing the other day on our own Facebook page.
Oh, thank you. I'm not in the loop, so I never see.
It's great. It's great information. We share all of the RV education stuff from Don and
Susan Q says it's a scary thing for a lot of women. I'm going to disagree. Well, I'll agree and disagree. It's not just scary for women.
Right.
Towing is a scary thing.
Yeah.
And the scariest part about towing is backing up.
Everybody says that.
It's backing up.
But you know what? Your chances of getting hurt or injured backing up are almost nil. I mean, you might hit a tree and damage your trailer, but you can redo that over and over and over, right? So I want people to just say,
slowly. Right.
Or just rent a pull through until you have the confidence to do it.
I think you could probably increase enrollment at the girl camper colleges if you had sorority parties and frat parties and football games and stuff like that. Maybe they'd have to be virtual because of the environment that we're in right now. But that,
you know what the girl campers are? So we're the cheerleaders, but we're the cheerleaders in AP classes. Okay?
In that article that you mentioned go out and rent the UHaul trailer to practice. The only, I'd kind of disagree with you on that a little bit, is this, don't rent the small U-Haul trailer, because the smaller the wheelbase, the more difficult it is to back up. And anybody who's been RVing and had multiple RVs will tell you it is more difficult to back up a pop-up trailer than it is a 30-foot travel trailer.
Well, you're absolutely right there, Bob. What my goal is in encouraging people to rent the U-Haul is to just drive around town. So get to that red light and figure out how far you need to pull out to make that right-hand turn without jumping the curb. It's just to get a feel for it.
Good point.
And
if you have something small, it's right behind you. Now once you get used to riding around your neighborhood, then town, then cross over, pull into the Walmart parking lot, make a loop. Hey, it's still there and I didn't jackknife. When you get comfortable doing that, in your own town, go to the highway, get on, go off, get down one exit, go off, loop around, practice that merging and getting off. Even if you never get out of that right-hand lane, that is going to give you a lot of confidence.
Okay.
Janine, there's somebody here in our studio audience that is posting every 10 seconds, and her name is Diane McNamara. Could you explain who she is? Is it somebody that you know?
She's a huge fan. You gotta love Diane. She's a total girl boss. She knows the industry inside and out. She is a gigantic girl camper fan and the absolute best volunteer I ever had.
and promoter extraordinaire.
She is. Like, she gets it. She is, that girl's a feminist. She wants to see women get out there and do things. And actually, it was Diane's idea about the guides. Diane came to me and said, why don't you make these guides a microsite? And so they're little businesses for women. They're micro businesses. So when a girl camper starts a chapter guide, all the advertising she puts on her microsite belongs to her. Nothing to do with me. So she builds her own little community. I can't ask people to do that for free for me. I want women to invest in themselves and to be paid for what they're worth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, let's do this, because we said at the beginning that we have 10 copies, collector copies of the first print edition of Girl Camper magazine. So we wanted to wait later in the show. No, the magazine, John, not the John DePico publicity.
He's got to get over himself. Really, right. This is getting old.
So here's what we're going to do, because we got almost 50 people online right now. So look at the first 10 people who share the program, because we get notifications of people who share the program. So each of the first 10 people who share the program
on Facebook,
will get a copy of the magazine. So I will have your name and I'll private message you to get the address and do that. So 10 copies are available of the collector's edition. Now,
and if you already have one, go ahead and share anyway.
That's true. You can always give it to another girl.
You give it to a girlfriend at a camp out.
Yep.
Can I tell you guys something? I have gotten much mail.
It's just between us, Diane, Janine.
It's what?
It's just between us. We won't tell anybody else.
Just between you and me? I've gotten a lot of mail from women who say, my husband read the magazine cover to cover and loved it. This is for anyone who camps.
Jose wants to know if it's autographed.
I autographed last weekend. All these girls showed up with their magazines.
I think when you come
talking about this.
Yeah.
Just pretend you don't see him, Bob. Huh? Just don't look. Don't look into the sun.
When you do you have publicity photos, like yourself holding a copy of the magazine, black and white, 8x10?
God, no, I don't. Here, screenshot me, Bob. Screenshot me.
Hold on. I'm gonna do that. Just hold it up there. Right there. Hang on.
Wait. There we go.
Gotcha. All right.
Gotcha.
Nothing's impossible on this show. Susie says, I have someone to give it to. Well, Susie, you got to share the program, though. Don says, can I get a photo of John? I need to start a fire. Get that? What are you pulling out, old photographs, DePietro? The other way.
Look at that.
Is that Chrissy?
That is me.
That's you?
Adorable.
Well,
See the hair?
Yeah, Chrissy looks like
you. See that hair?
Yeah.
And it turned into that.
Wow.
Unfortunately, it all turned into this.
Debbie Mann is on. Debbie Mann Sawadi, I guess.
Oh, she's our Florida girl. We got to get Debbie back. She sold her little teardrop, and now she's sorry she did. But we got to get her back on the road. We miss camping with you, Deb.
That's a good point. What do most, have you ever taken a survey? I mean, what do most of your girl campers have for, do they lean towards a
well, they lean toward a travel trailer. They lean toward a travel trailer more than a motorhome. But if you were choosing motorhomes, the large percentage of our girls are in a Class B. But there is a healthy number of girls who do a Class C.
Yeah.
So it depends. But, lightweight towables, but then we have really boss girls towing fifth wheels too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Janine, you talk about a large number of your members in Class Bs. Well, Class Bs are the hottest segment of the RV industry right now. And it's not just single people, whether it be single men or single women or just couples, but it is new families that are taking, 2 young kids out on the road in the Bs and the small Cs. We just ran into a family last weekend up in Maine that are in their 8th week of camping. They were supposed to go to Japan as part of the business trip that their parents were taking. And when that couldn't happen, they went out and bought an RV. And came out here. So don't think that it's just a small group of people that are buying the small RVs.
We have girl campers in Class A motorhomes and fifth wheels, and that's why we say, and we mean it from our heart, there's no wrong way to camp like a girl. We don't want people to have the impression that if you don't have a vintage tricked out travel trailer full of all the bells and whistles and tchotchkes, that you're not one of us. There is no wrong way to camp like a girl. And girl camping, it's kind of a state of mind. And however you want to do it, it's a person who wants to get out there, wants to see the country, wants to make new friends. How you're doing that and what you're doing it in is not as important as just that desire to get out there and create a life outside of that life you have at home.
Well, the great thing about that, Janine, is you can say that, and you'll say that to people who haven't been camping, but the first time they go camping, they realize everything you just said is true, because they don't care if you're in a 40-foot diesel pusher or a pop-up. Right. They don't care if you're a school teacher or if you own a Fortune 500 company. We all go out there for the same reason, to relax, to have fun. There's no pretentiousness, and you'll make friends as soon as you pull in.
Absolutely.
You will make friends.
Hey, Bob, I just learned something very interesting because, in this show in particular, we learn, Bob, and I'm sure you would agree with me on this, we learn so much from our live studio audience, and we're always watching the comments coming up here. But the thing I've just noticed is here, as we were talking about Class A's, B's, and C's and travel trailers, Karen says, I have a Class C and a 13-foot vintage trailer. And then Lisa says, I have 2 R-Pods and a 35-foot fifth wheel. Camping is addictive. And, I don't know.
Many girl campers do that. So they camp with their family in a big toy hauler and a fifth wheel. And then they see us and they're like, I want to do that. Our newest girl camper guide down in Texas just went out and bought an Airstream Nest. She's got a giant fifth wheel, but she's like, I'm not towing this thing. I want my own little personal girl camper. And so she got an Airstream Nest. Lisa is our South Dakota guide, and she has 2 R-Pods. one for this. She keeps one at her office about 3 hours from home in case she wants to stay overnight there or, so, and she actually loans it out to other girls and helps them out. So yeah, got to have your own.
Yep. And I think we'd all agree that probably the easiest place to meet new people is at a campground.
I agree.
That's fantastic.
Yep.
Well, we're coming down to 7:56, so let me put up, we got your website there. I want to once again thank our sponsor for tonight's program, Lee's Family Trailer Sales in Windham,
Yes,
Maine.
thank you, Dan. We're so looking forward to this event. We can't wait, and we're going to punch it out there and make sure we get all kinds of girl campers to come up.
Well, yeah, and for all the people that have joined us tonight and that are going to see this, because this will probably be seen by 6,000 to 8,000 people. You want to meet Jeanine in person? Come up to Lee's Family Trailer September 19th. Sit in on her Factory to Fabulous webinar. I'll be doing my introduction to RVs and the RV lifestyle. Mike Perry will be there doing new products that are specifically geared towards first-time people. We'll have the camp code displays. We'll have television, radio and television there. So he's done it up big.
Jose it's gonna be a party.
Jose says, I'm going to start girl camp as I'm the only male on here. Excuse me, Jose. You are not the only male on here.
John Hawes.
Yeah, Mark Pope.
Frank, as you look here. Yeah. Jose.
Yeah. And if you want to get Girl Camper magazine, you just go to girlcamper.com and a pop-up will show up. And it's super easy to order.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do that.
Yeah.
So let me see. All right. What I will ask you to do, Jeanine, and I almost hate to ask it because I know you're busy and you straight out here, but we do ask our guest the next night or that night or the next day, kind of run through the comments because we probably didn't get to all of them, and John and I will do it also, and you can answer those.
I'm on that.
Okay, so we'll have that for you.
And then you know what? I'm going to do a little blog post about our event at Lee's, and I'm going to link some campgrounds around there to see if anyone wants to come up and make it a camping day. So we'll find some campgrounds close by to Lee. And so then if we get our Massachusetts and Vermont and Rhode Island and Connecticut girls all to come up, they'll have a camp out.
Yeah, there's, I think that we sent you that list the other night. There's 4 or 5 that are within 15 miles of Windham. Some really, really nice campgrounds because that lakes region is phenomenal, highly popular.
And that time of year, Maine is just absolutely beautiful.
Yeah,
it's the best.
And when you get into September is some of the best camping up here. Weather-wise, you get the start of the fall foliage season, but it's nice and cool in the evening, comfortable during the daytime. So yeah, my favorite time to go is September, quite honestly.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm with you on that, Bob. I love fall camping anywhere. Yep. But in particular, Maine and Vermont and New Hampshire, it's the best.
Yep, I agree. Well, all right. Thank you very much, Jeanine, for joining us.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for cheerleading for us all the time. We love that.
Jeanine, make sure you tell your followers on your page to join us every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock Eastern.
I sure will. Here. And if you remind me, I'll do the watch party. I just forget.
There you go.
Janine will remember. She's like mine, like a steel trap.
I think we may have broken a record for live attendees tonight also. So we're up over 50 people live, and that always bodes well for the views afterwards. So I'm looking for. Let's hope we get a 10,000 view show here. But,
would I be the winner then?
No, 50.
You got to go to about 15,000.
15,500.
We can do it. We can make it happen.
But you know who holds that record?
Who?
John and Bob. We didn't even have a guest that night. It was a show that we did talking about Caravan Salon when I went over to Germany last year. So we had 15,500. But you're more than welcome to break it. And Diane,
I was giving these pictures
Diane McNamara wants one of those autographs, John. So we'll have to get it to her. All right, everybody. We will see you down the road. We'll see you next Wednesday.
And
Thanks,
we'll see
Jeanine.
you soon.
All right.
Have a great day.
Good night now.
In a month. Okay, take care.
All right, bye.